Grand Rising, YouTube Grand Rising. Good evening, good day, depending on where you are. I'm back in again to channel messages that's sent to me, through me, and for me to share. And this one's a bit of a deep one for me, it's a bit of a sad one. It's more so like a disappointment, you know? Especially when you had somebody so high as respect, you know? So I'm a bit in a trance right now, as I've just been coming back into the energy of this message. I've already recorded part 1 to this message, this rising. But since then, because I'm not allowing this energy to have any hold over me, or my destiny, or my daily routine, or anything like that, but I'm going to follow the guidance of the highest energy within me, and I'm led by the Most High, my archangels and my ancestors. So I left this reading and I took time to step back and just hold a meds, and within my ears I've been guided to listen back to myself, and I've been guided back to so many different messages. It's along my way doing what I've been doing throughout the day. So a lot of messages have come to mind, so this is the reason why I'm taking so many pauses. So many messages have come to me throughout the day, and I'm in deep contemplation as to if I'm even gonna post. I wouldn't record if I wasn't gonna, you know, but that's the feeling of sadness that I'm feeling within me in regards to the energy that's been exposed, that's come through, in regards to this energy. This energy is coming from a spiritual attack I had, where I was literally attacked within my meditative state, out of body experience, but that was realized, you know, and I woke up irritated, frustrated. A couple of things what hurt my feelings is when I feel like someone's creeping around me when I'm sleeping, you know, childhood trauma. As it is above, so it is below, or so it is below, so it is above. Because behind every reaction, there's a story to be told. And with every action, there's a reaction. And the reaction from that spiritual attack, when I wasn't troubling nobody, other than just living my life, way over here, over the seas, yeah? My ancestors stepped right in because I asked for those who's behind these attacks to be revealed. And look what come through. In part 1, you may not understand it, and it will come through as I do this part 2, and I pull other cards. I will explain. But this was a calling in all stars message, triggered from a previous calling in all stars message I did about, I think it could have been around 6 days ago, or a month ago. So it was a month ago. So anyway, in regards to that message, the calling in all stars that came through in this message here, and I've got to go back, is Cancer, Taurus in the reverse, Pisces in the reverse, and we've got Libra in the upright. Who you may be dealing with, or the energy you may be in, is Aquarius. Now through the energy of this message, what I picked up on, there was a Taurus energy here, which is now ascended past the energy of fear into the energy here of Aquarius. This can be dependent on, you know, your sun sign or your moon sign, depending on what chart you follow. Relevant. This is the kind of energy that I'm connecting with. A selective introvert. The cards are speaking for itself. the card that came out firstly to clarify the Cancerian energy was, and it's in the reverse. Funny enough, it says, you are a crow, these bitches are pigeons, but it's in the reverse. So it's like, you are a pigeon, and these hoes are, and these bitches, sorry, I'm reading the other card that's here, are crows. So somebody's tried to turn the tables on somebody's character, and somebody's in disbelief that this could even be said. The card that came out along with that was okay. If you won't eat, I'm not even gonna get into it in this message, but it's a bit X-rated. I'm using some cards that I got from a specific channel. Again, very relevant to the energy of this message. The cards are called What's the Trill? I've also got my deck here, similar deck. What's the Saga, which I created last year. All of this is relevant. So anyway, I'm not going to go into it too much, otherwise I'm going to be repeating myself. Definitely another major significance to the energy of this message is the energy of the Star card. Now, originally when I pulled the Star card in part 1, I wasn't aware of who this person was. I now come to find out that her name is called, wait for it, Angela Yvonne Davis, and she was a feminist, born in 1944, the 26th of January to be specific. So anyway, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out what the zodiac that would be, but I can't think of it now. So when I kind of listen back to her story, I've got it kind of written down here, and I'm going to read that first, otherwise it's going to play on my mind. So again here, so I said, born in a place in Birmingham, Alabama, January 26, 1944. Now again, this is relevant in regards to another channel who's speaking out on a very similar energy to this, 5-star energy, and speaks of Birmingham. I don't know about Birmingham in the US because I live in the UK, but I do know of a Birmingham in the UK. But nevertheless, it says, grown around women of power all her life. Her father was a pastor. She's always grown within the church. She was much known for the groups that she used to do within the church. You know, within the church of her father. She was married in 1980 to 1983. That may be relevant in regards to the energy of this message for you. In 1997, she came out as being a lesbian, same-sex relationship. In 2020, she lives openly with her partner. She had 3 siblings, 2 brothers and 1 sister. Her brother was under a serious charge when he held up the court, killing a judge, 2 jurors and injuring 2 jurors. Her brother was 17 at the time. She also faced charges as she was the one who purchased the guns in regards to that incident. She was charged with I can't say the word right now, aggravated kidnapping and 1st-degree murder. Now this may be relevant to something that may have taken place in your actual reality. I'm also picking up an energy of some association with the French. She also had some association, much association I should say, with the French. May have connections to or around a marriage. There's something around the years of 1991, 1980 to 1983. She faced charges, so I'm just repeating myself again here. Okay, so now this is where I was just reading on. So this is where the Most High is now bringing me to a characteristic and an understanding of that 5-star energy. I'm now seeing numerology, sorry for the pause. I'm very much connected to the number 12, the 12 dancing princesses. Very much in regards to my season 9. And this is why I've actually gone for these cards, and this was last minute. It's the reason why they're right here. And I was guided to go back through my seasons. This is going to be a lengthy message, but this is the 12 dancing princesses. This is the energy that I just connected to and with. And it's the mirroring energy for me, 21, card number 21. And the card reads the 12 dancing princesses. And I've just been prompted and remembered the message that I've just recorded is also 4224. That mirroring energy, there's a mirroring. There's a message I did around the portal, 1010 portal of last year. And I just messed up the order of the cards. And one of the messages was, I am who I am. Who am I to judge? Because when you mirror that, I am who I am, who am I to judge? I've been there in that position at some point of my life. You know, I would never just judge somebody. Is the reason why this message is so hard right now to even communicate. Not because I've got any fear of anybody's voodoo, hoodoo. None of that. It's because I honestly feel like there was a soul connection, a soul tribe connection, part of a mission, you know, that whole alliance in regards to whatever this energy is referring to. But like I titled the last message, there's a snake within the 5-star, and this is the reason why you got the 12, but there's an extra 5 somewhere. There's a 5 energy lurking. Illusions and confusions, you know, trickery. Sends out these kinds of energies. Children of Lur is now my chapter. It also came out in my chapter 4. But going back to my previous channel, beginning of this channel, which was never a child but always a soul. Hansel represents the children of Lur energy. Siren energy. Almost kind of like, I don't want to use the term puppets, but it's almost like an energy of puppets in order to distract, but yet to trigger the 12 dancing princesses. In a kind of weird kind of way, they work hand in hand. Day boy, night girl. What one doesn't know about the day, the other teaches. And what one doesn't know about the night, the other teaches. However that may resonate. I'm just trying to keep it simple. I did go into it in my chapter 4, which is of recent. Right now I'm on chapter 8, finale. I feel like this is chapter 9. Because this is not an energy that's just a one-off reading. This is something that's been spoken of on my channel since at least, I believe it was the 31st of July I was brought back to. This is a very deep energy. It's conniving, it's vindictive, it's snaky. It's that fox energy. It's the 7 of swords, 7 of cups. But you're holding the 7 of wands. You're highly protected by the angels. Now, when I go back to a personal reading that a particular channel has done for me, this is the card that came through. And when they realized there was some kind of misunderstanding in regards to who they were reading for, at one point, way past halfway through the message, they said, I hope that they've got the right, call me by my name. So at that point now, I knew what I was feeling from the first devil that I encountered on my tarot journey within this community had sent out an alarm. I already felt that, but that was confirmation at best. That was confirmation for me at best. The whole vibes of the energy of that message changed. It shifted. Confirmation. Ashe. But I understand when somebody's being used in a situation, I look deeper, I go deeper, I read between the lines. So this is the reason why I was so supportive of the channel, you know? But when you start hitting below the belt now, that's an unfair fight, isn't it? Especially when you're coming for somebody from the behind in a very meditative tranquility space. My space, furthermore, you know? Disrespectful. So now you triggered me as to who is this who has the audacity to page me in my sleep when we've got things like social media, DMs and stuff like that. But I feel like this is the energy that was trying to suck abundance. Abundance came out in that reading that I'm speaking about 4 times. It's still my abundance to have. But the card, the power over 7 scorpions, and we're actually in the scorpion season now. So bear this all in mind. You are being initiated into the magic of conjuring so as to have power to affect lower vibrational forces. Through your own will and spoken word, you are guided to use this powerful gift with compassion and discernment, with mercy and non-judgment. You can then manage any toxicity in your life swiftly with great effect. So the Most High is coming like he said right now. I want you to bring peace where there's no peace. And don't worry, my child, you're going to be protected through that furnace. You're going to be able to walk through the fire untouched. We're going to protect you because they need you, whosoever is resonating with the energy of this reading, because it's not just me alone that has to take on this energy. And I recognize that through the other messages and those who I'm connected to, whether we vibe in the reality or not, energetically, that's what's going on. Because I feel like we're here to pull these energies back into the light, because they've been drawn into the dark. Going back to the season I watched, Lost Girl, and it was you either had to pick a side, dark fae or light fae. I feel like the energy of the 12 dancing princess, of the remaining of the 12 dancing princesses, is to rescue the energy of the children of Ler. Day boy, night girl, depending on how you recognize it. But I'm going to continue to read what I wrote. I got into some numerology as well, which was a bit deep. But brought me straight back to this freestyle when I was talking about I'm not an astrologist. But listen here, listen this. From an unqualified psychiatrist, I'm an alchemist. One of the coolest sociologists. But me not deal with them low vibrational occultists. The whole of them need a spiritual gynecologist, protocologist. Me blame for them biologists. Now this is just me, I'm out of tune, but you know, this is the Most High speaking to me, through me, for me to put all of this jargon together to make sense of it, you know. I could have gone on with the list, is what I continued writing. So anyway, that was just freestyling that was coming through from me from yesterday, but I was running out of space of how much information I was receiving today. So I had to kind of write it underneath that freestyle, but it's falling in line. Yesterday I was also picking up an energy, and this is where I kind of said, no, I need to let go of this and just lie down. And I had a good night's sleep. You understand? But I picked up an energy here of subletting, soul subletting. Full circle. From August last year, maybe even June, more specifically. But there's an energy here of soul subletting. It's like where one devil realized that you was untouchable to them, they were too weak to take you on. They subletted their contract to another who they felt was more powerful. 21 on the clock right now as I say that. This is a deep energy. I'm going to keep saying it because I can't believe how it's just aligned the way how it's aligned. And the messages and the downloads I was getting throughout my day. Everything was just a message. Down to the birds I was seeing out and about. It was just deep. So anyway, I said I guess it's easy for these groups to steal the abundance of their own. It's like robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're robbing from yourself, in a sense. Same soul tribe, same soul group, same frequency, just different timeline. Is the reason why I feel those are the ones that's used, to make you feel doubtful about yourself, insecure, to throw stones and hide their hands, that kind of an energy. Because they see you as an introvert, a selective introvert is your energy. But unknown to them, they thought because they knew your name, they knew your story, because of a birth chart that they presumed that they could read you on. But there's so much more to you than just the birth chart, First of all, I come to understand through this channel. There's 3 different birth charts, and if I look at it all, Taurus is no longer the energy. It's this energy, Aquarius, which is another one of my sun signs in another chart. This is deep what I'm picking up on right here. So anyway, different timeline which they manipulate and jump, intercept, confusion and illusion. This one tried to use my weakness against me in a most recent, because I've had 2 personal reading. Clever, but not clever enough. Against someone who knows thyself. I am who I am. But I understand that they communicate in code. Family, for an example, that means soul tribe, karmic connection. That karmic 5-star that they're connected to in order to bring down the true 5-star that I'm connected to. You understand? This is an energetic thing that's going on across the ethers. And for some reason, the Most High is aligning me with those on a very similar journey. And He's giving me the power, which we all have, to use my discernment to figure out who is who. But everyone's weary out here. And I understand. And that's because they've been blocked. The energy is a very hard energy to decipher. Especially when you've been lured in by a siren. And somebody who's into this, all of this. I mean, look, this is another energy that they're behind the energy of the siren. A siren is what's being sent into you to lure you, to manipulate you, to confuse you, to distract you, to withdraw your resources from you in order for you to build your creativities, your foundations, your legacies. Cause doubt within your Highpriestess energy. Want you to, know exactly who this energy is of the children of Lur, You can either take it this way or that way. Going back to a song I wrote. Toga man, What is a togger man? A gentleman mixed with the bad man. Overall, not gentleman. Me said last night me have a chant to me grand. Don't even know where them feeling come from. Me have to ask her if a spiritual plan. She tell me say this one and me have to sit down and get scan. A togger man, togger man, togger man. There's more to it, but I'm gonna leave it there. This is somebody who has got the potential to be good or bad, keeping it simple. But the things that they have to do, as I've written here, but it's, you know, I'm gonna repeat myself. The things that they have to do in order to be initiated into this group, let's say, that initiates the 12 dancing princesses is deep. They come in groups of 5 also, going back to the message of the children of Lur, my season 9s. I've got that for anybody that's resonating with this energy, but that's in a private folder. But for anyone who's resonated and wants more information in regards to the energies that I've been picking up on since last year in regards to this message, but nobody wants to hear the truth. I've been trying to say the truth, but no one wants to hear the truth. But I feel like now, so much different Highpriestess, 12 dancing princesses, the remaining of, are going through some things right now. So now someone may be willing to listen. But there's so much more to this. This goes way back. I feel like we're only scratching the surface with whatever information we individually have. And I'm talking now to the remaining 12 tribes, the remaining 12 dancing princesses, and what energy is left out of these children of Lur. There's a mission, there's a need to align, there's a need to prepare. Going back to my global warning messages that I received a couple months ago, maybe 8 weeks ago. The things that they have to do to be initiated. So anyway, I notice everything and I move accordingly. Not everything promised to you is for you. Equals 6. This energy has been on your back like a fly from the same web as the instigator from Pisces season 9 on my previous channel. As it was when I moved away from that channel, ran into another devil who's trying to create that energy of doubt so that there's no prosperity, you know. It's ugly, that's all I can say. What someone will do in order to get ahead, like they said in one of the readings, this was on a collective message now. They're literally stepping on your back in order to get ahead. And that's what I feel like some of these channels are doing within the community. They will step all over you, especially if you ask them to read your energy and they see the level of abundance that you're ordained for, that you have within your destiny, within the chart that they're able to pull up on you. For some reason, the greed or the trauma that they may have been through in their previous lifetime, they just want more, spoil energy. I want it and I want it now, kind of an energy. Young energy. That's allowing their ego to shine brighter than their wisdom. Highly intuitive channel. Knowledge and wisdom is up there. Astrologists. But the shade. So anyway, I wrote here, better the devil you know than the devil you don't. And I was referring to leaving from my Empress Earth Wisdom 11 channel, coming to and creating this channel. Was never a child but always a soul. which is the name of my book. At the time when I created this channel, it was almost like my ancestors were saying, this is in order to protect your book that I gave out on recommendation of another channel. New level, different devil. You understand? Because I know myself, and I know I would never be here on YouTube if this wasn't my calling. They say I'm shy by nature, I'm observant by nature. I've come to seek a truth, so I kicked down barriers and broke through what they may think is shy. I'm a selective introvert. If they never knew before, they now know. Again, I was talking about subletting, flying monkeys, Oz, Glenda, can't get in, so they send somebody in who's more powerful than even them. So even the one who instigated the one who's coming to you now is showing their weakness because they can't get to you. So they have to fly in another monkey, you know? Again, when I was brought back to another one of my messages I did last year, it was on the 31st. I feel like the one is the masculine and the 3 is the feminine. Or the one is the magician, the one who goes out there and does it all. And there's 3 feminines behind that energy, controlling them like a puppet on the string. Some kind of scoreboard, Jack the Lad, go lucky, Hansel energy, as I explained before. 7, Child of Lur, chapter 4, Tinkerbox energy also, which is another set of messages, another chapter that I did. Guarded by the 3 dogs, it was called the Tinkerbox. And the story is of a Tinkerbox that was guarded by 3 dogs. Again, there's that 3 to the 1. Watched. There's something about ratio. But this energy, whoever is in the 1 energy, the magician, the sender, the runner, I'm hearing, they're heavily watched. They're under heavy surveillance by 3 dogs watching 1 energy. Now this can also be a police surveillance I'm just picking up on here right now. During initiation, not what you expect. 3 messages did not want to be recorded. Okay, so I'm putting notes here. So this is going back to last year when I done a divine masculine. I was literally woken up out of my sleep. It was around 1:30 a.m. and I wanted to do a message. It was like an urgency feeling that I woke up with. But for some reason, my phone just would not allow me to record past a certain amount of minutes. But I felt the urgency, and as I was getting out what minutes can come through, I knew where this message was directing to. So now I haven't had communication with this particular masculine at this particular time for close to a year, if not over a year. So out of the blue, and I'm talking about around 2+ a.m. in the morning, in the rising, I made a random phone call. They must have thought I was a bit Queen of Cups in the reverse, not right, you know, look a bit, I wasn't though. I was in my right frame of mind, had my full faculties, but there was an urgency. So anyway, that conversation went on for around 2 hours, okay, 2 hours. Many things came up within the communication, but what I definitely saw was no change. So anyway, at the same time, I was watching a live, not that I was watching it, it was on mute. So anyway, I realized that live went dead, and at the same time that live went dead, so did my phone conversation. LOL. But that was okay because I've heard enough. I'd heard enough. It definitely made me know that I'd made the right decision and that I was on the right path, if anything. So anyway, I then after that phone call received a phone call from a Cancerian energy. Not this Cancerian energy, another Cancerian energy. Random, again, had no communication for some time. Randomly called and asked me for my address. Now this energy would have my address because I purchased from them, you know. So anyway, as it is above, so it is below, so it is below, so it is above, all of that. It took me around 6 hours before I even sent an address to somebody that's already got it. Bear that in mind, or should have it. So anyway, that aside, messages was coming to me throughout the time at that time. So then anyway, I realized at that point that you can't bring peace to where there is no peace. It brought me back to a message that I did around about those times, and I said, masculine, just because you made the bed, it doesn't mean you have to lie in it. But again, they allowed themselves to be initiated into something that they had no true understanding about. Now they have to fulfill a contract. I don't know much else about the ins and outs, but I definitely know exactly what it is I'm feeling. I've been feeling it, and I'm hearing the proof is in the pudding. So much reality, factual information is coming to me between a year and now that it's just obvious that I'm on the right track intuitively, and I understand now why the Most High is giving me this energy. I understand. I will probably trust myself with that energy too, and that's just me. And I say that humbly. I don't hold grudges. You understand? I don't hold grudges. Going back to a song I wrote, Toga girl, humble and me rational. Me say me humble and me rational, but this me and I shall. I put you in a box, myself I put you in a cubicle. This me and I shall. I put you in a box, myself I put you in a cubicle. Music, hypothetical music, psychological, you can see. Me highly lyrical music. You understand? And when I say put you in a box and put you in a cubicle, it just means that my cutoff is real. You understand? It just means that once I turn my back and walk away, Gully me now look back. I would never look back. If I tell myself don't look back, I won't look back. I've cut myself off away from cords from family that meant me no good. 37, as I'm looking at that, kind of left me in the phrase, because I'm looking at this energy of the children of learn. 37. Had to just take a pause. But one thing that I'm definitely realizing is that there's definitely an agenda against the Most High's chosen. And I don't even want to say chosen. On those that's on the mission right now, those who's just minding their business. It's like these people, misery likes company. It's that kind of an energy. People just can't see other people just happy and doing well for themselves and just trying to just, build foundations, legacies. Wants to be a part of history. People don't like that. People want to step all over that. I see that as those people, if I really want to look at it, layman terms, as just evil. Good versus evil. Every day it's just a different saga. And that's the reason why I named this deck here. What's the saga? I'm going to carry on reading because there's so much. Here's the numerology now in this. I said about another inspiration, motivation I got from just writing this. But anyway, it brought me to the number 2. I said this goes back to childhood. The associations of twos. As it is above, so it is below. This is a battle of good and evil, as I just said, regardless of label. Maybe you had 2 in your childhood address, or pattern of 2s. 268, misery likes company. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 is significant possibly. 12 again may be significant. 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Significant again, like I said, just been haunted by that number 22. And as I said that, I can hear the TV on next door, and I heard 2. They're counting down 3, 2. Anyway, so again, I said breaking generational curses. I see this energy, those energies of associations with 2 as karmic energies. When I see the 8, it's probably the only genuine energy here for me, and possibly even 4. That's 12. And 12th house came out within the trigger message that I did. More messages are coming. But 8 is that infinite energy, that soul tribe energy, either your true 5 star or your karmic 5 star. They're either coming to help you build and grow, or they're coming to basically step all over you. Doppelgang you, I'm hearing. Take what belongs to you, because that's the mirroring image. I am who I am. Who am I to judge? There's a mirroring energy to this. Going back to the message, the first message of this, talking about there's a snake within your 5 star. Look at the number or the length of that recording, 4224. Again, this card, the 12 card number 21, the 12 dancing princesses. Again, there was a strong emphasis and energy around the star energy when I done the season 9. I had this, there was 2 cards up on my channel since that season 9 for such a long period of time, because it was close to my heart, represented something, stood for something. Going back to the energy of Angela Davis, it stood for something, that feminist energy, that feminine energy. Breaking generational curses upon you, in the intentional generational curses that's set upon you. Detriment, and my mind broke that down in 3 parts. Debt, karmic debt. Tree, as in the tree of life. Family tree, your roots, your foundation, those who's meant to love, guide and protect you in this 3D. Meant against you. Detriment to your innocence, your peace, your freedom, your hopes, your faith, your fears. It blocks your Highpriestess energy, your alchemist energy. It's either gonna make you stronger or it's gonna make you weaker. And that's just me saying it much more lightly than what I was feeling it earlier. Chapter 1 of my book, Was Never a Child But Always a Soul, is chapters called Robbed of Innocence. Unbelievable, the energy involved. The energy of Eve, Adam's second wife. 2, see the pattern? This is a bloodline difference between 1 and 2. 3, Empress energy. The who of you. Who, what, where and when. They were hoping it was going to be the ending of you. They were hoping that it was going to make you wither away, as the energy is what I'm picking up on. That you have your head in the sand, that you don't realize what's going on around you. But I tell people, even when I'm not looking, I can see. And even when I'm not listening, I can hear. Is the reason why I knew the image of the energy that was on my back that night. Short and heavy. Short and heavy. And when I heard it, believe me and you, it was in the energy of Ali and his ego, I love Ali's ego. It's probably why I love the energy of this channel. There's a childhood remembrance, masculine energy. But tugga girl, me humble and me rational. But this me and I shall. It says there's another part of the song's coming to me right now. It's the disrespect for me. It's the disrespect for me. It says, Toga gal, toga gal, toga gal. Me woulda ride for you, me coulda die for you. But one thing me not gonna do, I take disrespect from you. But one thing me not gonna do, I take disrespect from you. A toga gal, toga gal, toga gal. Listen to the toga queen. My time and my time. Your time and your time. Mine and mine. But them want for judge me about the cause me a fling that me get from me prime time. Going back to the numerology, I feel like that this energy here of what we're trying to rise to is in the energies of the odd numbers. The odd are the few. I'm definitely for the few. The growth of my channel showed me that, and I'm content with that. I'm content with that. Hand on heart. You understand? Because the Most High downloaded this to me from the very beginning. When he booted me through the first door and got that first video out on YouTube. When I listened back to that very first video, I noticed my growth. No one else might notice that or know where it's coming from, because they may only know my name, if that, but not my story, you know? So again, I was picking up the numerology here. There's a bloodline difference. I'm hearing you versus them. You was with the 2 when you should have been with the 1. The 3, the 5, the 7. The 9s here, completions. There's balance with 11. And my channel is Empress Earth Wisdom 1111. Again, when I see the energy of 13, that's the energy of Dinah, Jacob's only daughter, which would have made it that he had 13 children. There would have been 13 tribes. For me, that feels like the fewer than the few, you know? Because no one really speaks, or no one I've ever heard speak of Dinah. I feel like I carried the bloodline of Dinah, you know? Somewhere along the line. They were hoping that you never realized certain things about your Akashic records and the truth of the who of you, you know? But that's enough of that. I'm going to keep this separate, and I'm going to go straight into pulling cards.